So I wasn't going to come on to do another reading because I actually just recorded a mini reading. And yet, as I was kind of sitting in the silence after doing that recording and decompressing a little bit, I felt this person's energy come through, and I really felt like it needed its own space in a reading video. So this is going to be one of those very specific readings that just resonates for a certain group of people, and you will know, as always, if it's for you. But I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. Because I'm recording this late at night, there is a possibility that something about nighttime. I saw an owl, but also this reminds me of someone saying they're a night owl. I don't know if that's you or this person, or maybe an owl can represent being wise, having wisdom, being more active at night as well. Maybe you and this person often interacted at night. I'm also seeing rain. It also could be that the way that their energy is reaching you now is often happening around nighttime. So that could be significant as well. But I am going to go ahead and start shuffling the traditional tarot cards here. And I don't know how long this video is going to be. This may be a bit of a shorter one, but before I go to sleep tonight, I just really wanted to get this message through. So I'm setting the intention that if this is for you, it will find you. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Can I get any more information about this? The Devil card reversed. I'm going to pull several cards here. I'm just feeling guided to pull a full spread of cards. The Three of Cups in the upright position. The Three of Pentacles. I heard I'm coming back for you. So the sense that I get from this particular person is that they left you behind in some way, or they put their connection with you on the back burner, but with the intention to come back for you, meaning they didn't want this to be a complete ending. However, I feel that they never expected it to take this long. I feel like when this person first detached or disconnected from you or put your connection on the back burner, they were thinking that they just really needed to clear their head for like a day or a couple days, but I'm hearing like a couple days turned into a couple weeks, which turned into a couple months, which for some of you may be even years at this point. I'm also getting something about them continuously waiting for their life to slow down, but then that never happening. It's like they wanted their life to slow down a bit so that they could actually have the time and space to process your connection and to process something that they were feeling as a result of being connected to you. And right there feels like a powerful download for someone. Like they were feeling something as a result of being connected to you that had to be processed internally, but they felt like their life was too busy or moving too quickly to really be able to process it. So they put the whole connection on the back burner, hoping to revisit it at some point in the future. I keep feeling this like tension in my neck and shoulders. So maybe that's something you or this person is feeling, but I also get the sense they feel like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. And I also really feel as though this person didn't want to burden you with what they were carrying. And in their own mind, that's part of why they chose to disconnect from you, because they felt like they were carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. But I'm hearing they loved you too much to make you carry that with them, even though I feel on your end, you loved this person too. And I keep getting this love may have been unspoken. So I feel like even though it was unspoken, it was felt and it was mutual. But this person in their own mind, they loved you so much that they didn't want to burden you with whatever they knew that they were carrying. And I'm also getting that you actually never knew clearly, like in the physical, what this person was carrying, what they were dealing with, but you did have an intuitive sense of it, because I'm picking up on someone who has the intuitive gifts of clairsentience and claircognizance. So clear feeling and clear knowing. So you are someone who just feels things without knowing exactly where it's coming from. Sometimes you can't even fully connect the dots in the moment, but you're very empathic to other people's emotions. So when you're around someone who's experiencing a lot of tension or who's carrying a lot, you will be able to feel it and sense it as though you are experiencing it in your own being. And we could get into a whole separate video describing how that gift has most likely affected you and played out in your life. Clairsentience and claircognizance are incredibly powerful, and when correctly understood and applied, they can also be very useful spiritual gifts, because they can provide you so much insight psychically, but they're also some of the most misunderstood gifts and the most difficult to understand when you are dealing with these gifts yourself. Because when it comes to something like, for example, clairvoyance or clairaudience, when you are able to perceive energy visually or auditorially, it's a bit easier to get that in the moment confirmation that what you are seeing or hearing is real. But when you are simply feeling it, or you simply know it without knowing exactly where it's coming from, in your early years, you are most likely going to just assume that all of those feelings and those emotions are coming from yourself. And it can take a really long time to begin to get so familiar with your own energy that you can then tell when you are picking up on someone else's energy or someone else's emotions, and when it's coming from within yourself. That's also often why people who have these gifts will go through a spiritual awakening that spiritually isolates them. And if you're listening to this reading, most likely you are someone who was spiritually isolated during an awakening at some point on your journey. And you may have never fully known the purpose for this isolation. By the way, you may actually often go through periods of isolation. For some of you, I'm getting you're in a little period of isolation right now where you're feeling a little bit cut off from the world, or you're feeling like you're kind of turned inward a bit, where you're in a hermit mode, or there's a silence or a void, or you're taking more time than usual for yourself. You often experience these periods of isolation as a way to recalibrate yourself to your own frequency and energy, meaning to refamiliarize yourself fully with what your own energy feels like, so that you can be able to discern when you are picking up energies and emotions that are coming externally, and you can interpret them more effectively. I'm hearing that these periods of recalibration through isolation or solitude are often necessary. This is probably why you've also been someone who's always really valued your alone time, your solitude. You probably have felt as though you mainly recharge when you are alone, because you, in those periods of alone time, are then able to really fully calibrate to your own energy. And it makes it easier to tell through your gifts of claircognizance and clairsentience when you are picking up on an energy that is coming to you externally, so that you can more effectively interpret it and sometimes transmute it, instead of just absorbing it or taking it on as your own when it was never yours to carry. So I know that was a little bit of a side note, but I just feel like I'm speaking to a lot of people with those specific psychic gifts. Now, when it comes to this person, I feel because of your gifts, when you were around them, you were able to sense that they were carrying a lot, even if it went unspoken, but you also could feel the love that they had for you, which is why their disconnect from you most likely left you feeling shocked or confused, because you understood that this person was carrying a lot, and you understood that they loved you on a deep level. But in this person's mind, the reason that they disconnected from you wasn't as a permanent disconnect. They were, again, trying to somehow keep this connection alive, but sort of like save it for later. That's kind of what I mean when I say they wanted to put it on the back burner. I mean, they wanted to put this connection to the side to keep it warm, not out of spite or because of malicious intentions, but because they quite literally felt as though they didn't have the capacity to process the feelings that this connection was bringing up within them. And I keep getting the word busyness. I feel like there was a lot going on, or still is a lot going on in this person's life. And so they just kept this connection on the back burner, but they also never wanted to close things off completely, or to like totally take it off the stove in this burner sort of metaphor. So what I'm getting is what this person was carrying seemed to have something to do with a karmic feminine energy. For many of them, I'm getting this actually may be a family member. This also could be a romantic person from their past. But I'm feeling that this energy, this karmic feminine energy, is an energy that is very, I'm hearing artificial, like very superficial, focused on superficial things. I feel like this is someone who's very much like living on the surface and never really understood this person on a deeper level. But I feel that they were very tied into this feminine energy in some way. Now, of course, if this isn't a specific person in their life, this could even be an internal dynamic. But I really feel for many of them, it's like a friend, a family member, a romantic person, maybe from their past. Like there's an external energy here. And I feel that this external feminine energy was creating a lot of stress for this person. But it's almost like they had to reclaim their sense of sovereignty and independence from this feminine energy and from this situation and find some kind of freedom. So it's like they were trying to free themselves. I'm hearing from entangling dynamics. So there may have been something about the connection with this feminine energy that felt very entangling to them. I feel that with the Three of Cups, you illuminated this dynamic in a stronger way than it had ever been illuminated before. I'm hearing you made them want to be free of it. You made them like lift their head and see a higher way, a higher pathway for themselves, to see a better life for themselves, where they could connect with people in a different way, like free of this lower vibrational energy or connection that had been entangled with them. You are part of this person's soul family, regardless of what your bond looks like with them. And I'm getting for many of you, it was or is romantic. But regardless, you are part of each other's soul family, meaning you have a similar core soul frequency. But I'm getting this karmic feminine energy that was around them has a very dissonant energy to them, or did have a dissonant energy from them. But I feel that meeting or connecting with you made this person realize how much they wanted to work on themselves or needed to work on themselves to actually physically become the kind of person that you made them realize that they could become. And for some reason, they felt that they couldn't take you along for that journey. I'm just hearing like it's complicated. And so this person went silent instead of trying to explain the complications. The thing is, on your end, I'm getting that you wish that this person simply would have just opened up to you and let you support them. But again, on their end, they felt like they were actually doing you a service by not burdening you with the heaviness that was going on in their life. For some of them, they may have some kind of sense of guilt or over responsibility for a person or for a situation. And this could have to do with like a family matter or a past romantic situation or something of that nature. I just get there was something that they had to sort through, and I'm just hearing, give me time. But I feel like, again, there's something about this that keeps getting pushed further down the line, where initially this person only really anticipated needing to put your connection on the back burner for a few days or a few weeks. But I feel like somehow that period of time kept extending and extending until now you're at this point where you may not have spoken to this person for several weeks or months or even years, but they never meant for it to go on this long. That's what I keep picking up on their energy. Okay, so I'm going to reshuffle, and I want to know how this person is personally feeling internally at this time. And then we're going to ask how they're perceiving or thinking about you. So how is this person internally thinking? Whoa, okay, a card came flying out. They're in a very low vibrational state. They're contemplating a lot of things that have happened between the two of you. They're feeling as though there's some opportunity that they missed with you, or something that they didn't see, some kind of blind spot that they had. But I get this like reflective energy, like I wish I would have seen that, or I wish I would have taken that opportunity. But it's almost like they didn't even notice the opportunity. There's a lot of heavy contemplation here as well. They feel like they were complacent because they wanted things to be perfect, or they wanted to present themselves as perfect to you. And so when they knew that they were falling short of perfection, they just pulled back all of their communication and action entirely. And that's, again, when they put things on the back burner and said, I'm going to get myself and my life together and present myself more perfectly to the collective, to this person. I'm hearing my dream person, like they perceived you as their dream person, but now they're feeling as though they're too late. Yeah, with the Queen of Swords, they feel as though they've waited too long. And even if you never cut this person out of your life verbatim, they feel like their own lack of action has caused that sword to come down here. I feel like they perceive you as the Queen of Swords, and you truly are in that powerful energy. You are the Queen of Swords in the sense that you know your worth, you know your value, you have very strong, clear boundaries that speak without you needing to speak them verbatim, meaning your energy is your boundaries. And this person is coming up against that natural subconscious boundary of your strong, clear energy, where they are sensing that you do not tolerate inaction. And so when this person has been complacent for so long, they're sensing that they can't just waltz back into your life as though nothing happened. So they're feeling that very strongly. We're getting Virgo, Libra, Aries, and Taurus energy here. Yeah, I do feel that they're struggling right now with the Nine of Wands in the reverse position. The Hermit reversed. They're also feeling deeply lonely and isolated, but also when it comes to your connection, it's like they're paralyzed by their own fear here. One of their values, something that is very important to this person, is feeling as though there is an equality when it comes to the give and take in a relationship or connection. And I feel that a major reason they disconnected from you is they felt that when it comes to someone like you, they wouldn't be able to give to you in an equal way. They know, they have a strong awareness of everything that you have to offer in a connection, and they felt like they couldn't rise to meet that and give to you in a reciprocated way. But because of their standards and morals, they refuse to be in a relationship or connection that feels imbalanced in their favor, meaning when they are getting more out of it than they're able to give to the other person. I'm hearing it's a compromise of their values, and that's part of why they needed to disconnect from you, because they wanted to wait to connect with you until they were in more of a position where they felt that they could give more to you. So can I get any more information about what is going on with this person? Well, let's just go ahead and see what they're perceiving about you right now. And I'm actually going to pull some energy oracle cards here as well. So what is this person's perception of you? What is their perception of you? Anxiety in the reverse position. I heard the word unbothered. They feel as though you've moved on and you are unbothered by this connection. Happy family. Yeah, they perceive that you have a very strong community and support system around you. Whether or not you feel that way about yourself, they feel like you are someone with a lot of strong, positive community in your life. I'm hearing marriage materials. So if this is a romantic situation, which for many of you, I feel that it is, this person feels as though anyone would be lucky to marry you or to be with you long term. In fact, if you've not been connecting with this person in a while, one of their biggest worries may be that maybe you already did choose to move forward in a long-term connection or a marriage with someone else and they just don't know about it yet. Like, in their mind, I feel like they've made up all of these scenarios about you where you've just already fully moved on with someone else, and their anxiety and fear is paralyzing them from just coming forward and communicating with you. They see you as someone who, when it comes to them, has fully let go and walked away with the walking away card. With solar plexus chakra, yeah, they're seeing you as a very confident person with a strong foundation. It's a strong inner foundation, someone who is very confident because they're true to themselves, and also someone who is very spiritual, but I'm hearing in a way that they don't understand. This is someone who senses that you have some kind of connection to the divine, but I'm getting that they themselves may be someone who is very new to spirituality or hasn't really explored a lot of spiritual concepts or ideas. So their mind may have been very closed off to that prior to meeting you. I do feel something about meeting you sparked this person's curiosity in spiritual things behind the scenes. You may not even be aware that this person started researching spiritual things, but I'm specifically seeing soulmates after connecting with you. After meeting you, this person literally may have started researching the concept of soulmates because they had never met one before until they met you. And so it really piqued their interest. Wait a second, what is going on here in this connection? What is the spiritual meaning of this? But they've always had a sense about you that you've had more of a strong awareness of what's going on, not just in the world, but also in your connection with them on a spiritual level. So I feel like even this person recognizes that your connection carries a spiritual significance. They just haven't really known how to fully conceptualize or process that yet. But they do seem to also be aware that you have a very deep and a much clearer understanding of the spiritual role that the two of you seem to be meant to play in each other's lives. And it's interesting that I say that now in the present tense, the role you're meant to play in each other's lives now, because it does feel like there's been a period of disconnect. But one message I kept getting really strongly around this specific energy is that it feels over, but it's not over yet. There's a very strong sense of unfinished business between you and this person. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but in this case, it feels very real to your situation. There's something that's very open here between you on an energetic and spiritual level. Can I get any more information on how this person perceives you? Then we might get into a little bit on the spiritual purpose of your bond. But of course, we have the High Priestess. Yeah, they see you as someone who's very, very connected to the divine. And again, I keep getting that they see you as having a divine connection that they really revere and admire, but don't fully understand themselves. They also see the two of you as being able to work together or collaborate in some way with the Three of Pentacles, to be a team in some kind of way that could be very mutually beneficial. Can I get any more information on this teamwork and collaboration? Yeah, if or when they're able to become their King of Wands self, because we pulled the King of Wands, it's they see this very strong potential for the two of you to work together or to be a team in some kind of capacity, but they feel like in order to carry their end of that kind of collaboration with you, they would need to ascend to this level of being more of the King of Wands, being more of a leader or a visionary. I'm hearing entrepreneur. Maybe this person is an entrepreneur or trying to start a business. They seem to be very independent. They seem to work very independently as well. But I feel like they see the potential of what they could become, but they feel like they have to embody more of that potential before they can collaborate with you in a way that is fair to you, in a way that is giving to you equally. Could be Scorpio or Sagittarius energy here. How does this person perceive you? Yeah, the Queen of Swords. We definitely got that earlier. They see you as someone who's very true to themselves, but also very honest and clear with others. That's something they really admire about you and something that they find to be very rare, because this is someone who tends to be surrounded by many superficial people who tend to live on the surface, people who aren't even really aware of their own inner truth, let alone sharing that truth or authentic energy with other people. So when they see someone like you, who I'm hearing you were always very clear and truthful with them, maybe you even had a conversation with this person that was so straightforward that it kind of surprised them a little bit with how honest and straightforward you were, but it also made them really admire you in a different kind of way because they'd never experienced that level of straightforwardness, honesty, and openness from a person. Can I get any more information on how this person perceives you? How do they perceive you? They perceive you as having a profound energy of freedom around yourself, but also as someone who has been through struggle and freed yourself from very heavy and limiting dynamics. Yeah, they see you as a survivor, as someone who survived something that was very difficult. Maybe you opened up some of those things to this person. I feel like they admire your journey and what you've gone through as much as they admire the person that you are now. They also deeply admire the fact that in spite of all of the hardship that you've gone through and the things you've had to free yourself from, you've never lost your heart in it, is what I'm getting. Like, you never lost your heart in the struggle that you went through. And somehow this person does have an awareness of those past struggles you experienced. Maybe you felt guided to share some of your story with them or to open up to them. And I'm getting that for some of you, this may have felt like a mistake or an accident after the fact. You may have wondered, did I share too much with this person? Did I open up too much? But you didn't. You shared what you were guided to share because this was part of your soul contract with them, which we keep referencing, like this open contract between the two of you. But part of your soul contract was to share some of the struggle that you went through with this person. And it wasn't oversharing, because I hear someone saying, I feel like I overshared. It wasn't oversharing. You shared what you were guided to share to energetically transmit the blueprint, to transmit the map to this person. Because whether you fully know it or not, this is someone going through some of those same struggles or trying to free themselves in some kind of way. And hearing your story activated a light code within them that was dormant, a light code of freedom that would help them to navigate their way out of whatever it is they needed to go through to find their own freedom. And I actually feel like that's a lot of what this person is going through now as the two of you are disconnected. Now, I am really curious if they're going to contact you. I didn't expect this reading to go so long, but once we dove into this energy, there was just so much coming through from this person. The number 444 may be significant to someone. Okay, so is this person likely to contact you? Is this person likely to contact you? Healer of the ages, after they've healed themselves, man holding a coin. Yeah, once they've risen more into their own true power, they seem very likely to contact you or reach back out to you. Yeah, with the Sun card, once I feel like this is someone who is still overcoming something massive in their life, who still has a lot on their shoulders, and they're working on some kind of new beginning. And I feel like once they fully shift into that new beginning for themselves, which I'm hearing may be exiting some kind of like, I mean, some of them may be like, this could actually correspond to an actual life transition. So I mean like switching jobs or moving to a new environment or graduating from a program or getting a certification or something like that. I feel like there is some kind of physical life milestone correspondent to this person's new timeline, to them starting this new beginning. So I feel that when they do launch into this new beginning, the truth will be revealed. They will tell you the truth with the Deceit card in the reverse position. And what is the truth? What is the truth that this person is going to tell you? Yeah, that I feel like I missed an opportunity with you, that I feel like I had a blind spot, that I've been reevaluating things between us with the Four of Cups, that I want to make peace and compromise here. I want to reconcile in some kind of way. How does this person want to reconcile? Yeah, they've been secretly heartbroken and feeling in despair over this with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Star card reversed. And they want you to know the pain that they felt since being disconnected from you, even though they felt like they were doing what they had to do. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, they felt as though they lost like the greatest potential opportunity of their life, which was you. They were just so overburdened with the Ten of Wands in the upright position. What else will this person communicate to you? What else will they communicate to you? Attachment, that they've been attached to something that's been really heavy for them to carry. That some contract in their life had to be completed in order for them to evolve or expand with contract and the world. This may be a literal contract that had to be worked out legally, like a divorce, I don't know, signing divorce papers or a lawsuit, or this could have been like a work contract or maybe a spiritual contract. I mean, it could be any kind of contract, including just a spiritual or energetic one. But I feel like they knew something had to be completed before they could expand along with you. But you were what they really wanted with the cornucopia card, the 1111 card in the upright position. You were what their heart wanted to manifest. But there was some kind of contract that had to be completed that you, I feel, didn't see or weren't made aware of. You may have kind of sensed it because, again, you have that claircognizance and clairsentience. But I feel like you were not fully aware of the details of this contract. But this person the entire time has felt with the Angel of Love the warmth of your unconditional love. They felt the warmth of your heart. And I'm hearing, even as they've been disconnected from you, the warmth of your heart, the warmth of your spirit, the memory of times they've been able to physically interact with you has actually helped to carry them through a lot of the struggle that they've been experiencing now. So this is really what I'm picking up on in the energy. I'm going to go ahead and close things here, but I hope something connected for you. If so, feel free to leave me a comment. I would love to hear your stories, your thoughts, anything that has occurred to you as you've been listening. Otherwise, I'm sending you huge amounts of love, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.